What's up? Welcome in, Bears fans, to the CHGO Bears Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Of course, use code CHGO when you sign up, and you'll get gifts.
Gifts? Like
gifts? Like animated
like,
pictures?
Like gifts.
Oh, gifts. Like what'd you get on Christmas?
So I sound out words for my 8-year-old when we go through reading.
You got to.
Well, they're the best, and now's a good time to be signed up, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But you got some fun games to watch on Sunday. What's going on?
I'm so excited to be here. I just can't even focus.
Mark Carman,
So excited he's not even talking to the mic.
What?
You have dog shit all over the bottom of your shoe.
No.
Oh, goodness.
This is an iconic
I have had. It's just mud for the record. I've had a terrible.
We might have to hold that up to the camera and let the people vote on what that is.
Smell-o-vision.
Okay. Now I'm really thrown off. That's true.
You're thrown off.
Okay,
I'm the one who was mid-intro and had to look at that.
Just I'm gonna cross my legs like this. Listen to me. I've had a very rough morning. I took Poppy the puppy for an outstanding walk. Unfortunately, I was doing a little bit of a dance. We were having some fun, and the phone went into the snow, which I picked up and tried to dry off and all that stuff. But the phone's done. Not done, but like won't charge. I need rice. I need something. I can't communicate with anyone. That was that, and. Some other
phone you have that it won't survive snow.
Right,
That's
come
what
on,
I'm saying.
let's go.
Most phones these days.
You take him underwater.
Come on. It's iPhone 11, 12, whatever the hell I have. Let's go here. Chop. You telling me you can't a little 5 seconds? Now I got dog shit on my shoe. And there were some other things that happened this morning that it's not popping in my head. Plus, like, people are just screaming at CHGO and me, mainly me, about our video on Brock Purdy, which is the most ridiculous. We'll get to it at some point, or what do we say?
No, we can get to it, but we're not talking Bears until we get 100 likes again.
Ha!
Wow, going for the 100. Let's for the 100. We only have like 12 people watching right now.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
What a way to start.
By the way, I went back and listened to the beginning of yesterday's show, and I think it was the greatest show ever.
How about that?
Take that.
So take that, people.
Hoge endorsing.
Okay. So is it dog poo or not?
I have no idea.
Okay. I have to say, I don't really smell it.
It's
good.
I would
That's
say
a
it's
good thing.
unlikely that it is, but I
Okay.
don't know, and I'm not. I
On that camera.
It definitely looks
Luke
like
Stuckmeyer from deep in the bullpen yelling, "Smell it," which is
not smelling. 200 likes and we'll smell it.
200 likes and we'll smell it. All right.
300 likes and he'll taste it.
Oh no.
I did not know that the beginning of today's show could be more ridiculous than yesterday's show, but
Gavin Skipper, like it up.
it took 17 seconds to get more ridiculous.
Which I saw as lick it up, which is even weirder.
No, there's no amount of likes that will get me to do that.
Let me tell you this.
Let's talk about the Brock Purdy thing.
Okay. Can we? All right. Team CHGO, loyal viewers, one-time viewer, Twitter talkers, social media, anywhere. I love, I respect, I appreciate. We all do. I think all of you, or at least 99.9%. All right. But let's just set the record straight here. No one, myself included, said that Brock Purdy was better than Justin Fields, that we wanted Brock Purdy over Justin Fields, that there was anything that Brock Purdy had anything to do with Justin Fields. It has to do with the fact that if you go back to 2007, the Bears have drafted a quarterback in the second round or later, not even like late round, the second round or later. They've done it all of 3 times. So it's more an indictment on the franchise, which GM after GM, that we just do not draft quarterbacks. And Brock Purdy, when you look at his resume, the dude was 2-time first team, all Big 12, second team, a third time. I said 3 yesterday, so I had that.
I knew that sounded wrong.
Minor detail. Well, I'm still right there. A minor detail was slightly wrong. Dude threw for 12,000 yards. and he was sitting there in the 7th round, and we're taking Jatiri Carter, and in other drafts we're taking Latavius Simmons and whoever. So and then if you just look at the NFL right now. Look at the later round quarterbacks and the success they're having that are in the playoffs, like Dak Prescott, that have won world's 4th round pick, like Russell Wilson, 3rd round pick, like Kirk Cousins, say what you want about him, lengthy, solid career, 4th round pick, like, I don't know, the GOAT, who's still kicking around, 6th round pick, number 199 overall. So for whatever reason, these high-level football evaluators, they get this tricky position wrong all the time. So the Bears, who do have a quarterback, by the way, that likes to and is best playing on the move, they don't have a good offensive line. Any quarterback, period, can get hurt. You need depth at the position. The 49ers are in the NFC Championship game on their 3rd-string quarterback because they drafted one late who was able to step in miraculously, but good pick. Guy who can function in an offense. That's what that is something the Bears need to be doing going forward. Justin Fields didn't play every single game this year. He probably won't play every single game next year. So you need to have somebody who can understand the system, maybe plays like him ideally. And by the way, I'm going to have my top 5 lists of Bears that of quarterbacks the Bears should draft in the late rounds this year, i.e. other guys like Gardner Minshew, who I would have loved to have had here, who the Bears loved back in the day. He was a 6th round pick. You need to be able to hit on a backup quarterback in the late rounds. It's part of being a good organization. The Bears have not done it.
Well said. For those people who missed this, we put out this was actually from the conversation was actually from Monday's show, I think, or Tuesday's show. It was earlier in the week.
It was Monday.
And it was put out on the CHGO Bears Twitter account, which you should follow at CHGO_Bears. And the question, it was like a 5-minute discussion. I thought very reasonable, normal discussion. And the tweet was, should the Bears have drafted Brock Purdy in the 7th round last year? Easy to say now, but at the Carm still has questions. Here's the simple answer to that question. Yes. It's yes for every team, not the 49ers. Doesn't matter who your starting quarterback is. The answer is yes. All 32 teams should have drafted Brock Purdy. The 49ers probably should have even done it a round earlier based on what we're seeing. But I don't know why this gets so quickly turned into a Justin Fields versus Brock Purdy thing. That's not at all the conversation. The responses to this were quite frankly incredible. Mark Carman needs to stop overanalyzing everything. I would like to point out that we have no way of knowing how he would fare under Coach Getsy's system.
Not the point. Not the point.
Stop. He's got the most QB-friendly coach and an unbelievable roster.
That's
he
true.
would have
He does.
sucked with us.
I love that people are just so sure, by the way, that this is just the only place that this dude, as a rookie, coming in the middle of the year, that this is the only place in the whole world. I just know this for a fact. I'm a great football fan that he could never be successful anywhere else. I'm that confident. Come on, man.
Guys, you need to stop doing daily shows. This is a comical take. These people just probably didn't watch the video, right?
I don't think they watched the video.
Because it's like...
or you're like sensitive Fields person, which you don't need to be.
But that's another thing, like... People love their Justin Fields.
I think it might be dog shit. I think it might be. Take a slight whiff. Sorry. But I'm sorry.
But that's okay. You can love Justin Fields.
Right.
I don't care if Tom Brady's your quarterback, Aaron. I don't care if Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs should have drafted Brock Purdy in the 7th round last year.
Right.
Everybody should have. And the Bears, and so with hindsight, everybody should have drafted him. But even going into pretty much every draft ever that I've ever covered for the Bears, I've always said take more swings at quarterback in the late rounds. Now, there was one moment, not one moment, because I do remember us talking about this, Nick, going into the draft last year, where I said this might be the one year where I'm not going to push hard to draft another quarterback because they didn't have a lot of picks and they had so many needs. But If you had told me that Ryan Poles would turn all those picks into 11 by the end of the draft, like he did, then I'd been like, take a swing at a quarterback. It's quarterback. It's the most important position in sports. Now, here's the crazy part about the Brock Purdy thing. If he got drafted by any other team, probably not playing. He might never have played if you really think about it.
It was the perfect situation. Every quarterback that the 49ers had went down, and he got his opportunity. What I will say about Brock Purdy, he knows his limitations as a passer, as a quarterback, and that's why I think he excels with this 49ers offense. He knows he needs to throw from a clean pocket. He knows he needs to throw with anticipation, knows the reads, knows his weapons, and that's why he's had so much success. And credit to Brock Purdy for knowing that. He was the last pick in the draft for a reason. There's physical limitations, there's arm strength limitations, but look at that. He's balling out right now, and to this whole argument, the Bears should be drafting quarterbacks. They could be late-round quarterbacks. That's fine. That last game against Minnesota would have been a lot more entertaining.
Give me David Fales every year.
David, there you go.
There they are. David Fales, 2014 6th-round draft pick.
San Jose State. Let's go Spartans.
There we go. Do you remember Nathan Enderle, 5th round, 2011? Have no recollection of him.
That's a real name?
I vaguely remember him.
And then the other one, this is the 3 times since 2006 that 17 drafts that the Bears have drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round or later. So we're obviously not talking about Mitch. We're not talking about Justin, 1st-round picks. Dan Lefevre.
Central Michigan.
6th round, 2010.
There you go.
I have a Lefevre, and the only prescription
Jim Lefevre.
Drafting more
Lefevre
quarterbacks.
Cubby.
is
Let's go.
Justin Fields.
Yeah. Lefevre, Enderle, and Fales. That's it.
But here's the thing. So if you're only going to draft one every 5 or 6 years, your hit rate's not going to be very high. But if you commit to drafting a quarterback, remember when Ryan Pace said, I'd like to draft a quarterback every year?
No.
And then he didn't.
Trubisky.
Drafted one. Well, he drafted 2. Justin Fields.
Yes, Trubisky.
Well, right. And then we can look. Why don't we look at late-round picks that the Bears have taken? This past year was, let's look at the 6th round. Zachary Thomas, Treston Ebner, Doug Kramer, Jatiri Carter, 7th round Elijah Hicks. The best pick of them all was number 255, Trenton Gill. Congratulations. That was a hell of a pick.
We have 100 likes.
And I like
100 likes, baby. Woo!
Yeah, all right.
And no, we're not blackmailing you. We're just having fun, everybody.
7th round pick in 2021, Kyrus Tonga. Thomas Graham was a 6th round pick. Daz Newsome, I liked him for a minute. Khalil Herbert, great 6th round pick. I like running backs in later rounds. A lot of running backs out there. It's Latavius Simmons, Arlington Hambright. All right.
Arlington Hambright. That's a great name.
Wasn't he the pig? Wasn't that his nickname, the pig? Was that Arlington Hambright?
No, that was Latavius Simmons.
Oh, that's right.
Latavius
Okay.
Simmons
Although
was the pick.
Hambright, you would think.
That's why I got. Yep. Okay.
Pig. The point is, dude, your hit rate's low no matter what position.
Exactly.
You might as well be prioritizing the most important position.
Buy the lottery ticket. Let's go. Might have find a quarterback back here. Our QB's probably going to get hurt. Mitch Richard, you're right. Kyle Orton was a 4th, and that was in 2005. And Kyle Orton, by the way, I don't know, maybe the 10th best quarterback in the history of the Bears, roughly.
He might be.
I mean, really, if you look at wins, he technically is. It's him and I want to say Mitch.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good, you guys.
Bring Mitch back, baby.
I mean,
I think we've said that at least 12 times in the history of.
won't happen, but I mean, it would fit.
All right.
What is this poll question from Braggs in the stands?
What's
up, Greg Braggs?
I mean, I haven't put one up there yet.
You guys decide what the poll question should
Yeah,
be
I don't
in the
know.
chat.
I don't know.
What should be the poll question for today?
I don't know if
And we'll
that's a
see
good
where
idea.
that goes.
What's Braggs talking about?
I think he just wants a polls question.
Well, I think didn't yesterday you say you had a poll question you were going to put on the Twitter machine? I feel like you said
we put one out yesterday.
right. And then you said the one I'm going to have tomorrow. I swear you said that. Maybe I'm
Really?
wrong.
Starting to smell in here a little bit.
No.
Is it?
I can't tell.
I can't.
Neither can
I think so.
I think you're.
I'm
You might have to go socks only on set.
I mean, I'm going.
Well, he's sitting in the middle, so no one will really know.
I like how Mark your feet are
I'm like
levitating
hovering over the carpet
ground.
right now. This is just a terrible.
Okay,
I don't
Braggs.
want. I just don't want to have an impact on a long-term impact here. We can have a short-term impact, but I think we're okay.
All All right. I want to get into a little bit of a breakdown of the roster. We missed something yesterday.
Oh.
You guys missed something.
It was the
We've never done that.
1-year anniversary of Ryan Poles being hired as general manager. So now it's 1 year and 1 day.
1 year, 1 day.
I think we need to go back and re-record yesterday's show.
That's possible, but we can do a 366-day celebration for Ryan Poles.
That would require Braggs to drive back down here in the non-snow, though.
We had a great lunch with Braggs yesterday. Braggs bought us lunch yesterday.
Yeah, that was crazy. I still feel uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, I didn't sleep last night.
What did you guys have for lunch?
Oh, we went restaurant day, the whole thing. It was salad and a brick chicken because you were with Braggs and
Braggs had to have brick chicken.
Brick chicken. Okay.
Bragg,
Or no, you had
I
brick
had
chicken.
brick chicken. Braggs got his. Braggs like a 4-year-old when he eats. Just for the record, he doesn't like
Chicken nuggets.
No, he's not.
Do you guys have like
He
a
didn't
chicken?
even eat his ice cream.
Well, that was the weird
Oh.
part. He got, because it was a restaurant week, so you have, he comes with dessert. Dude doesn't. He orders the ice cream, doesn't eat it, and then of course I did. So that was 2 bowls. I
Greg
crushed.
did it on purpose.
I crushed 4 scoops of pistachio ice cream yesterday, courtesy of Greg Bragg, who also paid for lunch. All right, go ahead, Hoge.
Lost my train of thought. We're talking about
Something about
Ryan
polls in
Poles, 1 year, 1
366.
day.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Kevin Morelli about Mr. Poles.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and read that?
Poles last year swung on youth to develop and locker room guys. Will he now go for dudes who don't really fit that mold? Example, Hopkins, Clowney.
Interesting, Kevin.
Thanks for the super chat.
I think it could be a possibility. Like, again, the Hopkins thing, I think if you want to evaluate Justin Fields to the best of your ability, you got to put dudes around him. And I know it's not what he did, his MO last year, but if he obviously has no trade clause too, like why would he want to come to Chicago? But it does give you a better evaluation of Justin Fields if you went with like a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. So possibly some of those guys could be in the mix.
You get a thumbs up from me if you want to go get DeAndre Hopkins, assuming he's not costing a ton.
Well, I think you did that this year to set the foundation, right? You you go youth, locker room guys, you set that foundation, you get that stuff in so that guys you bring in know, hey, this is how we do things here. And you can go out and get those guys that maybe are a little bit edgier and but have a lot of talent, see how they fit in. So I think that's what now, how many guys do they have to go get? That's what I want to talk about here in a second. But first, Goose Island, baby. We love Goose Island. Our new beer sponsor. Got the 312 up here, the Bulls and our Blackhawks beers, which are excellent.
Spears.
Really, CHGO is supported by Goose Island Beer Company, and it's a perfect fit. Chicago's beer since 1988. They have that Blackhawks Pale Ale. Carman's just holding. Limited release, so you want to check it out. Hawks and Goose Island been neighbors for 25-plus years. They got the Goose Pub open in the United Center for almost 10 years. Great pregame destination for Hawks fans. And a lot of charity work between the two organizations over the years, too. They also got the Bull City 312, Bourbon County Stout, which is excellent. So many good options with Goose Island. I like the No Plans.
Yes. That's awesome.
Beer that's new.
So good.
That's my favorite right now. Go to.
Now, is that a like 15% ABV because you're not going to have any plans after that, or is it a?
No,
it's not that crazy.
It's just like kind of a chill. I got nothing to do. I'm just gonna hang out and
Adam, I
drink
bought
No Plans.
I bought a case of that, and it gave me. I had the option of buying a bag of chips for a penny. So that's how you know No Plans was even better. Binny's in Vernon Hills.
Oh, I got to get to my bennies.
That was
Yeah.
in Binny's.
Vernon Hills. You
Those
bought
my
the No
Binnies?
Plans? Yeah, you're
My
Binny's.
Binnies?
You're Binny's.
You're kind of a master of the suburbs of the youth of America, Nicholas Moreano.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm not gonna lie. Your whole story of trying to get to work yesterday with 2 trains, a cab, and you're a mile away made me feel so much better about living 45 minutes away.
That was a one-day
That's a
experience.
journey.
It's so peaceful for me normally.
Yeah, but
Oh, come on. You miss the city. I know you do. Deep down,
oh,
you
I do. I 100%. I'll be back someday.
There it is. Yeah. Thank you. It's good to be in the city. I love the South Loop. We're having a great time, even if I have dog shit on my shoes.
Meanwhile, Goose Island's 2 local locations are open, ready to welcome you. Grab a beer right from their innovation tanks at the Goose Island Tap Room at 1800 West Fulton. Great place. We were there a couple of weeks ago. Or get a smash burger and a fresh beer of the week at the original Clybourne Brew House at 1800 North Clybourne. That's where I used to hang out back in the good old days of me living in the city.
There we go.
For reservations and pickup, go to gooseisland.com/locations. Goose Island Beer Company.
You get your Goose Island, then you got to get your gear at FOCO. Chicago, you've already got the best coverage for your favorite teams, so get fitted out in the best sports gear around. FOCO's got you covered from Soldier Field to the front room, north or south side, with hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. Get decked out like DeMar with apparel from the leader in sports merch and collectibles, FOCO. Looking for the perfect gift for the football fan in your life? FOCO's got you covered with hoodies to fight that Lake Michigan breeze. Check out FOCO.com or click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO for 10% off.
All right. So, Ryan Poles, it's been a year. 3-14 record. He has the number 1 overall pick, which is still crazy to think about. Most cap space in the NFL. And a lot of positions to fill. Which brings me to, we got a lot of big projects going on here right now. We're all working on them, and I had this epiphany after having lunch with you and Braggs yesterday. I don't know why. Driving home, and I'm like, I haven't even finalized my grades from the season. Like, I gotta do one thing at a time instead of
everything getting.
Because we could have been talking about, honestly, we could have been talking about that all week. I was like, come on. So I locked myself in my office when I got home last night, and was like, finishing this.
I like it. That's intention right there. Mm-hmm. You need intention in life. I know I do.
So
we all do.
When I got home from lunch, after 4 scoops of ice cream, I took a nap.
That sounds great. That's the opposite of what I did.
I had no chance. I needed 15 minutes.
Just a free tip to Braggs. If you don't like pistachios, don't order the pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, I mean,
do you just want to try it for the first time?
What kind of cooperator of personality are you? Get the cheesecake. Get anything else. Order. Can I get an extra thing of fries?
That's good too.
Get creative. Quit being such a nice guy.
All right. So the grades are finalized, and have some notes I wanted to share with you guys. Number 1, highest grade on the team. Who do you think it is? Well, it was already in our notes. You've probably seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I have not seen it. Highest
Chat,
grade.
Who do you think? Who do you think's the highest grade? Chat, come on. Put names in there.
Yeah, that's a good question for the chat. Who was the highest grade on the team? Jack Sanborn.
Close. It's the obvious answer.
It's the obvious
Trenton
answer.
Gill?
Oh, so Trenton Gill? Because that would be an obvious. Trenton Gill is great.
He's great, but the
Who's
number
the
1
obvious
observation.
answer?
Number 1.
Who was great all year? Who am I missing? Eberflus?
The guy that's on your screen.
One.
You think that Justin Fields had the highest grade of the whole team?
Yes.
No way. I mean, it's your grades. I don't want to get into an argument with your grades, but you just sent a graph yesterday and asked what people's opinion. You basically didn't the graph show that he played well just for 6 games, and the rest of the season was underneath this line that you drew in your
Glasses
little complicated Hoge world.
What? No, you didn't read you didn't read the graph properly.
I didn't?
But that's not your fault. I didn't really explain it.
I mean, I saw one line like this, then I saw this big thing in the middle.
That's because for 3 weeks there, he played the most. He played. People forget he was the best player in the NFL for 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Up here.
And then, but at the end of it, you had the line going down to.
He had a terrible game against the Lions at the end.
Justin Fields was the highest graded guy on the team. That's interesting.
Why does that surprise you?
Because
he carried the entire offense.
I'm not saying he's not the best player on the team by a mile. I'm just saying, as far as a consistent season of grading out, I wouldn't have thought that it would have been him. Plus the fact that he missed games, I just wouldn't.
Well, you don't get graded down.
Okay, so that doesn't matter. Okay,
I guess who else would be in contention if it wasn't just Fields for the best?
Would be
the
DVOA
most.
Gregory.
consistent.
And by the way, part of the problem here though is nobody. This was what I was going to share with the list. Is most years, even though the Bears haven't been great, they've still had a couple blue chip players, which is the highest category you can get, and we talk about this every week. Blue chip, okay. You have a Khalil Mack. You have a Roquan Smith that plays in that. I think Akeem Hicks ended up in there a year or two.
Sense.
The Bears had none of those guys this year. So I'm not saying. So part of the reason why Justin Fields still was the best player on the team, which I don't think is that controversial of a statement.
It's a different thing than the high grades. Obviously he's the best player on the team. It's not even close.
But that's how he carried an entire offense.
He did.
He averaged 30 points per game for like a month.
Correct, because of him.
That happened.
100%.
So that's why he's at the top. But this gets into more of the issue here. The highest offensive grade on the team is Jack Sanborn. Those are the only two players on the entire roster that graded out as long-term starters.
2 players. All right.
They had 0 blue
good.
chip players.
Not good.
Shouldn't be surprising because they just didn't. And here's the bigger thing I think has Ryan Poles that Ryan Poles has some work to do here. Only 12 players graded out even as starters. So there's a difference between like your starters, which are guys that are capable NFL starters. Then you have the guys you want to extend as long-term starters because they play at a higher level. Then you have the blue chips, the top players in the NFL. When Khalil Mack was on the team wrecking dudes, he was a blue chip player.
12.
The Patrick Mahomeses of the world, right? Those are the elite of the elite, the Aaron Donalds, okay? Obviously, the Bears didn't have any of those players, but to only have 12 players grade out as starters.
You have one side of the ball with 12 total people.
But that speaks to why the Bears went 3-14, if you think about it.
Exactly.
Only half of their starters are actually playing to that caliber. And when you really think about it in that sense, it actually makes sense. Because when you watch that defense, especially in the second half of the season, how many true starters did you see playing out there? There's a reason why they couldn't get stops. They weren't good.
Yeah. Adam, how many of those, did Kyler Gordon and Jaquan end up in that? Or were they just out of that? Okay.
I know that's going to be controversial.
Hopefully they're on the trajectory to make that part.
Eddie Jackson didn't.
Eddie Jackson. So let me go through this. Let me go through these. These are all good questions. You guys must be reporters or something. Here's part of the problem, though. 12 players, starters. One of those players was Roquan Smith, not on the team anymore.
I was going to say.
So 11. We're going to
Another one of those players is Cairo Santos, who honestly didn't even play that well towards the end of the season, but he was so good at the beginning of the year, it still averaged out that way.
10.
Here's your guys. So I mentioned Fields, Sanborn, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert,
Okay.
Jalen Johnson,
Yep.
Darnell Mooney,
Yep.
Tevin Jenkins.
Surprised that Mooney's on there, by the way. That was a very up and down year.
Yeah, but
Mostly
he was still pretty good when he was out there and healthy. Tevin Jenkins,
Was he?
Cole Kmet, Eddie Jackson, your guy Justin Jones.
Justin Jones had a good year.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem.
I mean, he's not exciting.
That was 10. That's your 10 guys who are under contract. Well, Cairo Santos would be the other one. David Montgomery's not under contract going into next season. So to address your first question about, there's 3 rookies that I think Ryan Poles most likely will be putting, on his board, saying these are starters going into the next season, even though they graded out to me as fringe starters, which is the next category down. That's Jaquan Brisker, that's Kyler Gordon, and Braxton Jones.
Got it.
All 3 of those guys I'm high on. I like them, and they have their reasons for why they weren't higher, especially I think the guys in the secondary. To do what they did this year with no pass rush is impressive. I think it points to them being good players in the future. But you can't ignore the fact that, Brisker didn't play well against the Lions at the end of the year, just for example.
Once he had the concussion at the back end of the season, he wasn't the same player. Hopefully that will not be even a remote indication of anything to come. I just think
Yeah.
it was.
But
We
I
have
do
a
only have him
Trenton
down for
Gill.
2 negatively graded games the entire season. So I still think the sky is
Okay.
pointed up for Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon. I think there's and same thing with Braxton Jones.
Trenton Gill?
Trenton Gill should be getting an A.
Trenton Gill's right there,
Okay.
right on the fringe of being. Yeah, Trenton Gill's fine.
Trenton Gill is straight adorable. Always smiling, walking in there. He's in a great. Tell me I'm wrong.
He looks like he's about 18 years old.
He looks 18 years old, smile on his face. If there was a magazine for punter models, he might be on the cover. I'm a Trenton Gill guy. All day long, Lawrence. Gill, punter, Bears, 7th round pick.
Yeah, hopefully he has time to be a model next season because he doesn't have to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No punting.
Better have a big offseason here.
Now,
punting.
we will go. Part of what I want to do in the coming weeks here, now that I have all this stuff finalized, is kind of go more position by position and talk about how many positions really. If you're Ryan Poles and you're looking at it like, how many starters do I have to find? But just more like zooming out. For example, on the defense, when you start plugging this in, you essentially have 4 players who graded out as starters last season that are back. Jalen Johnson, Jack Sanborn, Eddie Jackson, and Justin Jones. And I think in Justin
Khalil
Jones,
Herbert?
what?
Khalil Herbert?
He's done with
Would be-
defense.
Defense only.
Oh, defense. Sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
So when you look at this, now I'm also now you're going to plug in Brisker as a starter. So essentially you're set at safety with your 2 starters, right? You're set at 2 of your 3 corner positions because you're also going to plug in Kyler Gordon with Jalen Johnson. And I do think Jack Sanborn is your starting Mike. But if you're going to look at Justin Jones and be like, yes, he graded out as a starter, but is he the engine that makes the whole defense go? Quoting the head coach, I still think you're looking for an upgrade there.
Good depth piece if you have another guy above him, I would
So
say.
you're looking for 4 starters on your D-line, 2 linebackers,
Nickel.
and a corner.
Is that it? I think we're in great shape.
And these are just starters. Then you got to fill out the depth below that.
Our
It's a lot of work to do for Ryan Poles. A lot of work to do.
Our guy Brad Biggs had details on the Bears back-to-back winning seasons 05-06 and how they're just basically there are very few organizations in the entire NFL that have had this level of even a remote ability to string together winning seasons. The Browns,
Oh, you're saying because that's the last time they had back-to-back winning seasons.
back-to-back winning seasons.
Yeah.
Like, you come out of 12-4, you know, coach of the year, double doink. You think you're gonna have a winning season? Nope, didn't happen. You come out of 2010 NFC Championship game, 9-7. Can we get to 9-7? No, can't get it done. To me, that underlines more than anything else just how inept the franchise has been. That you literally can't even string together 2 winning seasons in a row. So when Ryan Poles is building this roster and everybody wants to get there as quick as possible, you want to set yourself up to overstate the obvious for some level of sustained success, even in a salary cap NFL league. I mean, come on, it's this is a low bar to jump over.
We're talking about the low bar, you guys, but let me go on the opposite here. The Bears are obviously last in the NFC North. I went back and kind of looked. Were the teams that have gone from worst to first, which I don't think is really in the cards for the Bears to go first in the NFC North. But I can give you teams from 2016, the Cowboys, who were 13-3 in 2016. The year before that, they won 4 games. You go to 2017 Jaguars. They won 10 games that year. The year before, won 3 games. The 2018 Bears, 5-11 in 2017, went to go on and win 12 games. Houston Texans that same year, 11-5 they finished in 2018, won 4 games the previous year. And the most recent example would be the Bengals, who won only 4 games in 2020, in 2021 won 10 games, went to the Super Bowl. They were last 2 years in a row, though. They were last in 2019. They won 2 games. 2020, they only won the 4 games. So even though the Bears have all these holes, these issues, they were last in the division, there are teams that you can look back at that, hey, they've made this jump. Again, I said I don't think that's in the cards for the Bears to jump from last of the NFC North to the first. But if Ryan Poles does his thing, recoups these picks, is able to build off of some of the stars they have here, you can see progression in 2023, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and Swift Sports Network, Nick's not saying that it's not possible. He's just saying it's not probable, for the record.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's fair. There's just a lot of things that need to go the Bears' way, too.
I mean, when you look at just at the North, is Aaron Rodgers coming back or is he not coming back?
That's a factor.
How many changes are we going to see up in Minnesota? Is Dan Campbell going to continue to Dan Campbell the Lions into a positive? I mean,
a lot of factors here. A lot of factors.
The North should be when we've talked about this, the North should be a very good division next year. Highly competitive NFC North, I would think, because I don't think Aaron's going anywhere. Although
Nathaniel Hackett went to the Jets, and I know that's his dude. I know the Jets have.
He went to the Broncos last year.
Yeah, I know. You would think that they would maybe figure that out, but.
Hey, Aaron, you want to leave Green Bay and be a New York Jet? We got a good defense.
Got some playmakers.
Start spreading the news, Aaron. You want to win the MVP and be a Jet? And do what Brett Favre did and take the Jets further than he did?
Nobody believes he's leaving. Bears fans certainly don't.
There was a little bit of juice around him getting traded this week, but...
Well, right. Well, I tweeted what Schefter said on one of the pregame shows last week. I don't even remember what it was, but it was basically he could be traded. There's a real chance he's traded. And every single response from Bears fans was like, oh, yeah, this is the same guy who said this last year. Nobody believes it.
Who knows?
I think it can happen, but
I'd be surprised.
I understand why Bears fans especially are like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. So
I'm right there with them.
So anyway, the conclusion there was there's a lot of work to do.
Yes.
37 years since the Bears won the Super Bowl, by the way.
Anniversary today.
Woo.
Do we have anything special for this?
I mean, I have a super chat from Enrique. Does that count as special?
That's special.
That is special.
That counts
Yes.
as special. Absolutely.
Enrique, appreciate you.
I'm shocked you guys aren't all decked out in your Bears Super Bowl.
I'll be honest. I did not know that it was 37 years to the day until I got in the car this morning and was listening, and it was being talked about.
I wore my
my
Genesis shirt.
There we go.
Now this is from the 1986 tour, so it's a little later. But
what were you doing on Super Bowl morning, Lawrence? What do you remember?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Playing Atari. I have no
Playing
idea.
Atari. There
Playing
we go.
Atari.
Wow.
It's a good way to celebrate. Like that.
I mean, I'm open to if you throw any Chicago Bear out, I'll do their Super Bowl shuffle if anybody wants to do that to celebrate. Anybody?
Steve Fuller.
They say Jimbo is our man. If Jimmy can't do it, I sure can. This is Steve, and it's no wonder. I run like lightning and pass like thunder. Bring on Atlanta. Bring on Dallas. This is for Mike and Papa Bear Hallis. I'm not here to feathers ruffle. Just came here to do the Super Bowl shuffle. There you go, Steve Fuller, number 4.
There you go.
Won 3 games that year.
What were you doing on Super Bowl Sunday?
I remember coming downstairs and thinking, there's absolutely no way they're losing this football game. And then Walter fumbled, and they were down 3-0. And it was like, this can't happen. There's no way. They're so much better than everyone. This is the greatest team that's ever done anything.
What I remember,
very different feeling than the Super Bowl I remember.
I thought the Bears had 0 chance in that game.
Against the Colts.
And then Hester took it back, and I was like, am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe got a chance.
Maybe we got a chance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then it was just, no.
Shout out to Scott, whose first jersey was a Maury Buford number 8 jersey. That's amazing.
Wow.
Maury Buford. I've heard, talking to Hamp about Super Bowl Sunday, when the game was not even over, they were, yelling at the fans in New Orleans who were like throwing beers to them. They were already like drinking on the sidelines before the game was done. Like they were wild. And they had the whole Buddy and Ditka thing. How old was Carman 1985? 22. Mubs, we are going to fight.
I don't know. Bragg said you were 32.
Wow.
I was 2 months old. Oh, wow. Bragg's is even worse. And I'm a lover, not a fighter, and we do not believe in fighting on the show. Well, Mubs, we're going to talk this out. You too, Gregory. I was 13, you jerks. If we really want to go through it. 12? Was I 12? January of 85? I was 12.
I wasn't born.
I don't know. I was 0.
Wow, you're older than me then. Wait, you're older than me.
I was 11.
Huh. I thought you were my age.
I was born in April, right after the Super Bowl, so I am to blame. They haven't won anything since I was born.
It
Connect the dots.
Anybody who's watching right now, if they were actually of, I don't know, 8 years or older at the time, it was, thank you, Sarah, it was, it's been talked about a zillion times, but I guess on the 37th anniversary we can mention it. There was nothing like it. They led the news every night. They were on the Johnny Carson show. The fridge was as big of a sports personality as there possibly could have been. Literally everyone in the city, if you didn't like sports at all, you were into the Bears. Moms who couldn't have cared less about football were, my own mother couldn't have cared less. Loved Otis Wilson. Couldn't get enough of Mama's boy Otis. One of a kind. Ladies all love me for my body and my mind. There's another one for you. It was unbelievable. The Bulls in 1986, Jordan had broken his foot. They didn't have a sellout all season long. The Bears came to play football at halftime against the Cleveland Cavaliers and World Be Free, who were the Cavs were like a 20-win team, and the stadium sold out to see the Bears play 10 minutes of halftime basketball. Which at the time, if I'm being honest, I hated because I was mostly a Bulls. I was a huge Bulls fan growing up, and I wanted the Bulls to stand on their own. The only time we're gonna get a sellout is because the Bears are playing, and or Larry Bird is here with the Celtics, or Dr. J with the Sixers, or Magic.
They couldn't even sell out during Jordan's early years.
Well, the year that they didn't start selling out until his third season. His third year, early in the year, they were on the cusp of it, and then that's when the sellout streak started. His third year, you could 8,000 people were going to games his first year.
Wow,
you could have. That's another
Crazy
whole topic right there.
Go
ahead.
Our guy Chris Peguero.
You're looking at the fridge, Doug Van Dorn. I'm the rookie. I may be large, but I'm no dumb cook. You've seen me. You've seen me hit. You're not correct on that, Doug, but you're in the neighborhood.
Anyways, the super chat that Adam was about to say.
Yeah.
Should I stop talking? I loved it. It was
just, nobody listening to the podcast has any idea what you were just randomly saying. Back to Chris Peguero. Super chat $4.99. If the 2005 Bears had Justin Fields, would they have won the bowl?
Yes.
I need some answers.
Of course, they would have.
Yeah.
They would have won it with Steve Fuller. They would have won it. It's the greatest defense of all time.
Did you say they would have won with Steve? We're not 2005.
Read the question, man.
Oh, if the 2005 Bears. I'm sorry, I was focused on. My bad, Chris Peguero.
Is the poop
if the 2005
affecting your eyesight?
I think the 2005 Bears would have, but I defer.
Wasn't it 06 year they went to the...
It was 06, yeah.
The 2006 Bears made the 07 Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh.
But is he talking about the team before?
Maybe he's talking about 05.
He also says chill with the last name, yo.
Chill.
Okay.
Yo.
I like the bet. I guess I'll chill, though. That's fine.
Well, I think he meant 2006. So that team with Justin Fields, do they win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think they do.
I would bet on it.
Same.
Yeah.
With that defense,
definitely.
And with Brock Purdy.
They could have won that game with Rex Grossman. That's what sucks.
Well, they couldn't have because he was terrible and he
I didn't
gave the
mean to
game
say
away.
Could have if
He just didn't
If
throw
he just
the ball.
didn't turn the ball.
If he
Yeah.
If he knew how to handle the ball, weren't there 2 fumbled snaps?
They had that interception early, too, on Manning.
They got away from Thomas Jones,
Yeah,
giving
that
Cedric
was-
Benson too much.
Yep.
Sexy Rexy was great in the NFC Championship game. If he had been like less great, maybe they would have used him less in the Super Bowl and perhaps they would have won it.
You had a pick 6. You had a blown coverage on defense that was a killer.
Yep.
They
Colts
didn't-
were giving you the football too, by the way. You
They
really
were.
didn't have to do much.
Oh, that's a good point by Swift. Tommy Harris and Mike Brown played, too.
Yeah.
Have that a part of the defense. I agree.
But
W's.
that's part of, as much as that's true, that's also part of the NFL.
Sports. Yep.
You know, if the Chiefs lose this weekend,
How much is gonna go to
they're going to be saying
Mahomes'
forever.
ankle.
You know, if
Yeah.
Mahomes was healthy, then we win another Super Bowl. It's just that's attrition.
Part of football. for sure.
Yeah, attrition is part of it.
And just for the record, which we have in the old show notes here that I want to pull up, 37 years is a long time. That's unfortunate. Of course, we know that in the next 3 years, the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl because Ryan Poles is the man and Justin Fields is incredible, and CHGO is going to be there.
Let's play a quick game.
Yeah.
Do the Bears ever win another Super Bowl?
Ever?
I would hope so.
Are you saying in your lifetime?
This isn't that crazy of a thing because do they ever win one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do the Bulls ever win another championship?
Yes.
Do the Blackhawks?
Yes.
Do the Cubs?
Everybody's going to win.
Everyone's
another-
going to win at one point.
We're all winning again.
Do the White Sox?
No.
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 You think it's all over for the Sox? Come on.
You were saying it, what, a couple
White
days
Sox are
ago,
the
Adam. Did
closest
they
team-
just get lucky?
Yes,
Like
they
winning-
got lucky. That's
yeah.
a known fact.
So
Everything about 05 was luck.
They are also the White Sox are also the closest team in Chicago to winning one.
But they seem so far away,
And they
too,
also
at the
might be the
same
closest
time.
team in Chicago to moving to a different city eventually after they're sold.
White Sox aren't. Stop.
I'm
I don't know
telling
what's
you.
going on over here.
What?
I just wanted to underline there are 12 teams in the history of the NFL that have never won the Super Bowl.
See? You don't.
Yeah,
You
the
act
Bears-
like,
but
you
the
act
Bears are
like
not in
my
there.
thing is so
Bears are not a part of that list. They got one.
There's
But-
12 current NFL teams that have never won the Super Bowl.
Lawrence, I feel like
Viking-
you can answer. You could name these 12 for some reason. Could we quiz
No.
you real quick? No?
No, I mean, it's in the.
Oh, shit.
in there.
You've
Get
seen
our
it?
butt down.
I mean, I could. No, I'm not gonna.
Chat, you want to take a stab at this?
No,
12 teams.
You can't just start asking the chat to name teams.
They
Just
can do
name
it.
the damn teams.
They do. They
We
can
got to
do
get
it.
off the show here in 12 minutes. 12 teams.
Ben and I paying attention to time. Vikings, Bills, Bengals, Falcons, Panthers, Cardinals, Titans, Chargers, Browns, Lions, Jaguars, Texans. Oh,
Sucks to be them.
we got 37 years, baby.
Bears. Bears.
The Cardinals have existed basically as long as the Bears.
They haven't
They've
won.
never won a Super Bowl. And how
So-
many NFL championships do they even have? I don't even know that. One?
Cardinals?
So in the history of the Cardinals organization, they've won or two. You act like it's just a given that all these teams are going to win.
They don't got
At some
Justin
point, they
Fields.
will.
At some point.
There's a lot history. There's a lot of. I mean,
How many Cubs fans
I
were
mean-
born and died after living long lives
different question.
and never saw one?
I
Different
can't
question.
die without seeing a bear. Like, that would suck. Like, come on.
Well, yeah.
That would be awful.
No, that's a different question. Will Nicholas Moreano in his lifetime see the Bears win a Super Bowl? I don't know.
28.
He's
Come on.
28 years old. Seems like he's in good health.
I mean, he
It's-
does seem to work out a lot. You expect him to live a nice, long, healthy
right.
life.
He doesn't seem like the type that does stupid stuff that would put him in harm's way. I would bet that he will.
Me too.
But
I
I
hope.
but
What about
would-
the snow on his window when he was on that call with us?
I could
yesterday?
see everything, though.
Okay.
Like, it was just on the top there.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't even that much.
I just think people underestimate, like,
They better win at him.
I'm not saying the Bears are ever going to be a team that moves, but, like, are the Cardinals going to be in Arizona forever? Are the Jaguars going to be in Jacksonville forever? Like, the point is, it's not guaranteed that.
No, they're not, because Arizona's going to be 392 degrees in about.
Well, I wasn't going to go there with the conversation, but.
Our guys at PHNX are like, oh, shit. Oh, no. What's going on?
Let's hope that's not the case.
All right. Well,
Kevin's right, by the way. NFL championships pre-1970. Cardinals have one in 25 and one in 47. How Kevin Kadick knew that in 1947 the Arizona Cardinals won a championship
they weren't the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, who were they in 47? The Bears?
Were they?
They were the
St.
Chicago
Louis at that
Cardinals?
point, or
They
still
weren't the
Chicago?
Bears. I know that.
The Cardinals were the Bears.
They were the Chicago Cardinals. We won. See, we have another one in this city. Damn it. The Chicago Cardinals, 1947.
Oh, my God.
Ed O'Bradovich was probably at the game. Grew up going to Cardinals games because they were cheaper to go to than the Bears.
I don't even know how we got on that conversation.
It was a great.
I think the Bears will win a Super Bowl. I have already prepared myself for having seen the only White Sox championship I will only ever see. But I did that in the moment.
It's unfortunate.
I mean, if you think about the amount of Cub fans that's spent their entire lives on this earth and never saw them win. People like Ron Santo, who couldn't have deserved anything more. Sorry, you didn't see it. You weren't there. You were. The best thing you have is 2003. That's just terrible.
It's no bueno.
Didn't even go to the World Series.
It's rough out there. Hey, but two teams this week do have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Not the Bears, unfortunately. There's 4 NFL teams left, 2 conference championship games, and only a few more shots to win big on the playoffs. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, counting down to Super Bowl 57. New customers can bet just $5, get $200 in free bets instantly. And if you're not a new customer, you can feel the conference championship thrills with stepped-up same-game parlays. Take your shot at an even bigger NFL payout and boost your winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. We're going to talk about both of these games here in a second before we close out the show and give our picks and what we might be doing on DraftKings. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code CHGO. New customers can bet $5 on the conference championships and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
And whenever they do win the Super Bowl, it's going to be one of the more efficient jobs of all time. Just like the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, which is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve save money and energy. So ComEd is offering a free facility assessment. It can help you save money and save energy, lighting, HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment. I feel you out there, Matthew Gregory. What's coming for you right now? Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers are going to receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that will start working immediately. You're ready for a facility assessment? Well, you can do it in 3 different ways. You can go to the website, ComEd.com/poweringbiz, or you can call them at 855-433-2700. Don't wait, by the way. Get this going. Energy, money, more in your wallet. You want to do this. Or you can send them an email. Business at ComEd.com. Business at ComEd.com. To do that, send the email. Hey, I really want an assessment online. Thank you so much. ComEd.com, making the world a better place and putting money in your pocket.
I've made the decision that it is dog poop, and I'm glad our likes are not. I'm glad the likes are not at 200 because
They're at 169.
I think it's
Nice.
I think it's mud with a trace of poop.
I also did a poll in the YouTube. It said, is it dog poop on Carm's shoe? And right now, yes is at 88%.
Yeah, I mean it 100% is.
I feel I do have a slight waffigation. And
What vocabulary? I love it.
the plan is to hover the shoe after the show into the hand and go right to the hose, which I have no idea where that is, but
There's a
we're gonna
hose?
find one.
The water hose.
The
I
water.
hope?
The water
Is
hose.
that-
Yes, not.
I just wanted to clarify.
We're not trying to combo things up here.
Oh, man.
What a show. All right.
All right. Games this weekend, 2 o'clock on Sunday. We got the 49ers at the Eagles.
Woof.
Carm's guy, Brock Purdy.
Let's go, Brock.
Versus Jalen Hurts. The 49ers 2.5-point underdogs. I'm sticking with my Niners.
Bold. Very bold.
Very bold.
Especially getting the 2.5. They're a machine. They're so well coached.
So are the
I
Eagles.
am nervous. I am nervous about Purdy. I think he could have thrown like 6 interceptions last week. And the Eagles have a really good pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the defense holds the Eagles down. I think the Eagles have shown some cracks in the foundation.
Where? When?
They're not playing as well in the last 2 months as they were at the beginning of the season. When did they start? 7-0 or whatever it was?
Dominating teams.
And is Jalen Hurts 100%?
I think he's close enough. They were very strong last week.
I got the Giants.
Yeah, and so did the Cowboys against the Bucks, and then they played the 49ers.
Your best argument so far. Like it. I'm still taking the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles, too. Like, they have just as much firepower on defense as the 49ers do. And I think Brock Purdy, without a clean pocket, we're gonna see those limitations, I think. So I'm taking the Eagles in this one.
Philadelphia, to me, looks like the best team in football right now. If I had to bet my life on who was going to win the Super Bowl, which gladly I don't have to, I would take the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
Okay.
So they're.
You're going Eagles overall.
I think they covered that.
I'm giving myself the out.
What did you have at the beginning? Chiefs versus
Cowboys. We got Patrick Mahomes on one ankle, and the Cowboys dead. So
well, the Mahomes thing, you didn't know
dead.
that was happening.
No, I know. I'm just saying. But right now, I'm not taking Philly, and maybe I should be on the Hoge bandwagon. Maybe I should say Bengals.
Bills is my Super Bowl winner.
Bills over
Eagles.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm still going 49ers, especially getting the 2.5. Other game, Bengals. Has this gone all the way back to Chiefs being favored by 1?
With
Really?
Mahomes being a full participant on Wednesday, it swung back.
I
the
checked
other way.
DraftKings this morning, and it was still
+1.
Bengals -1.
Bengals are +1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It opened Chiefs -2.5. Went the Bengals' way, and now that Mahomes is a full participant, air quotes, it's now swung back to the KC side.
That's kind of amazing.
That's also a silly reason.
Don't you think?
He's not going to be 100% in the game.
Not 100%.
It's not possible. It's not physically possible.
Hey, take that point. That's all.
Yeah, I guess. And then I like the Bengals even more. I will say I do have a little bit of a regret. So I have a Bengals AFC champion bet from like early November I made.
Nice.
Right, so they win this game, I win that. So I was debating hedging it this week with the Chiefs bet because that basically guarantees me half, right? Depending on how you do it. But when it had swung all the way to Bengals being favored by 1.5, I wanted to bet the Chiefs getting the 1.5 because it leaves a small chance that you could actually hit them.
Hit them both.
Oh, wow.
Right? I was waiting for it and hoping if it went to 2.5, I was going to do it. Because here's the thing. I still think the Bengals are going to win this week. I thought they were going to win this week before Mahomes got hurt. So I don't really want to hedge it. I think I'm rolling it, baby.
You clearly are now.
I don't know, you guys. I feel like that's been the popular thing. Like the Cincinnati Bengals are just going to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I know Patrick Mahomes on the bum ankle, but Dan Orlovsky had a really good tweet today.
Oh, was it about food?
No, it was about football.
No. Okay.
And it's about the Kansas City Chiefs defense. The Chiefs have had 241 quarterback pressures this season. Only Dallas had more. They've contacted the QB 198 times. That led the NFL. The Bills did not exploit the Bengals' beat-up offensive line in that game at all. They were the more physical team in the trenches. I don't know I don't think that's going to be the case in this one. I think the Chiefs have a better defense than people give them credit for, and it's still Patrick Mahomes. Like, even on one ankle, he's still throwing jump passes, still able to make a lot of throws. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs here.
All right, Nick.
What are you doing?
I understand.
Clicker.
Besides
clicker
sounding
noise.
like
the clicker.
a clicker from
The Last of
a
Us.
TV show I know you're not going to watch.
I'm
Which side conversation?
I'm with Nick.
Last time we were
I
together,
don't know
we
if
both
it's
lost.
Toradol or whatever they're going to do with Patrick Mahomes, but I will stick with the Chiefs, who I picked, and I'll go against Adam Hoge and Joe Burrow. Kansas City at home, eating the good barbecue. Mahomes doing miracle moments. The Chiefs, second in the NFL, getting to the quarterback, putting a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow.
Do you know Joe Burrow's record against healthy Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
2-0?
3-0.
3-0?
Yeah.
I'll say this.
Joe Burrow. Give him credit.
Joe Burrow's the man.
He is a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. I can't stand his brother, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' brother. Like, there's a video circulating
guy's a
on
complete clown.
social media. Oh my gosh, that I would want the Cincinnati Bengals to win just so he can't celebrate. The most annoying dude ever.
I mean, there's worse, but yeah.
The money, Adam Hoge, is significantly with you. 69% of the dough is on the Bengals.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that might be bad news because that's how you paid all your You made all your picks based on that last week, and you went 1-3.
Yeah, well, but I would have taken the Chiefs in this scenario.
Because all the money's on the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go vice versa. If you're going against the public this week, you've got the Niners and you've got the Chiefs.
Well, I can't wait.
And it's heavy for Philly. Same thing. 69% of the money bets are on the Eagles. 69% are on the Bengals. That's way too much on Cincinnati. Way too much. On the road, I officially love the Chiefs.
But this is what you did last week.
This is what I do every week, and it pays off. It's a percentage game.
It didn't pay off last week.
It didn't pay off last week. That's 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay. We do it over the course of a whole season, over the course of a career. If you fade the public consistently and you bet the same amount of money every week, bet the same amount of units, you will end up on a plus side. I'm not saying you're going to make a ton of money, but you will end up positive if that's how you want to do it. And do no other research, but you literally got to bet everything that's above, call it a 20% spread.
What do you think goes through the heads of people that just spend an hour of this show behind an avatar that doesn't show their face and they just say mean things the whole time? And no, I'm not talking about Greg Braggs.
Hey, we appreciate it. Do your thing. You want to yell at us to get some jollies?
It's just so weird. I'll never understand it.
People.
Luke, $20 super chat.
I don't think that's Luke in the avatar, but yes. Let's read it.
Yeah, I don't think it's Luke either.
Nick, what was your favorite memory from the Chicago Audible?
Good question. Probably just getting credential for the first time, going to the combine, noticing like our work had been validated, got put in that credential request, and then it came back a couple weeks later, going to the combine and seeing how everything worked. But just seeing the gradual work that Will and I had done throughout the years, and then finally seeing it kind of happen in real life, I guess. But yeah, being credentialed for the first time was definitely my favorite memory.
It's awesome.
What was your little side? You had a side conversation.
Oh, yeah. So my wife officially totally disagrees with me on the second episode of The Last of Us, and she also thought it was good. And I watched it I thought it was better the second time I watched it.
Good.
I still just don't want it to be Walking Dead all over again. That's the only thing. That's my point.
It's not. I almost bought the video game again just to play it.
Yeah, but then they show the previews of the next episode where Nick Offerman's randomly in it, which is kind of cool. But then they're like just in a gated area making food, and it's like what is that, season 3 of Walking Dead? That's the whole season.
I don't know. Didn't watch that show.
There was a moment in time when I was working at Fansided that they decided that it would be a great idea for Mark Carman to be a part of the Walking Dead podcast. And they were like, Carman, you ever watch The Walking Dead? And I'm like, no, I've never watched The Walking Dead. Well, see that conference room? Your next 2 weeks, you're gonna get caught up. You're gonna binge The Walking Dead. And I'm like, no problem. I figured it was like, I don't know, 10 episodes or whatever. I had like, it was like 60 episodes of The Walking Dead, and it's like, it was like a good show for 5 minutes, and then it got to be so incredibly dumb. And then by the time I was basically done binge watching it, cancel that idea. The show sucks. So
Wow.
that happened. Thank you to.
Yeah, they lost me at the beginning of season 4, I think is when I stopped. And by the way, Braggs, there's been no spoilers at all.
No. Yeah. Just watch it.
Yeah.
All right. That's a
Just
good
don't
show.
order pistachio ice cream if you don't like it, you weird guy. Then Carmen ends up eating 4 scoops of ice cream and having sugar high, and then taking a nap and not getting everything done. I got to point the thumb, but I also want to point the finger.
Okay.
Get. If you're not gonna eat it, I mean, I would have liked to have tried the cheesecake.
Are you gonna smell your shoe? There's we need 7 more likes.
Well, we need to end
smell
the
your
show
shoe.
before it gets to 200.
Yeah, can
All
we
right,
go now? Thank you.
Follow us on Twitter at Adam Hoge,
Hit that like.
at the Carm, at Nicholas Moreano. You guys got the show tomorrow.
We do.
There's breaking news. That's not really breaking news, but we'll have some audio. It's not breaking.
Carm is obsessed with something that some ex-NFL players said about Justin Fields.
I'm telling you,
and he
What'd he
probably
say?
has
Who was
zero
it?
insight on it at all.
Don't
to
miss
tune in.
tomorrow's show. It's
Gotta
gonna
tune
be
in.
ludicrous and fun. We just didn't.
197.
Is that it? Was that the ending of the show?
197.
Come on.
I'm ending
I mean,
the
just
show.
smell the shoe.
Yeah, I can smell it already.
Smell the shoe.
Smell the shoe. Smell
See ya,
the shoe.
everybody.